It's all good.
I know.
We'll do it again. We'll do it again.
Right.
Happy Saturday. Hope you guys had a great week. We're filming in Huntington Beach, California. We're about to go surfing, so I just want to get the film out real quick. I'm here with my boy Jason. He's going to tell us a little bit about him.
Hey guys, my name's Jason. I am a recent Cal State Long Beach grad. Today we're going to talk about how my goal of becoming a physician, kind of how I've decided to come to that, and the steps I took and the steps that I'm taking to get there.
So I have Jason on today's show just because he's one of my few friends that actually wants to become a doctor and still is striving to become a doctor. A lot of my friends that say they want to become a doctor, they give up at that becoming a nurse or becoming a phlebotomist. Jason's one of the few that actually still wants to become a doctor. So I have a couple quick questions for you.
Yeah, man.
So the first question is, Jason was able to pay, you were able to pay your whole tuition before you graduated.
I was, yeah.
So how did you do that?
Yeah. So, a little background about me. I don't come from a super wealthy family. I come from the middle class. And what's cool is California and the United States in general, that we have the FAFSA, and a lot of you probably know about FAFSA. What's cool though is I saved a lot before I ended up going to college. I worked at this company called Control Air, and I saved up. I saved. Plus, I got FAFSA, and what was cool, what I did was, a lot of people, they'll get their FAFSA and they'll go out and they'll buy, a car or
laptop.
Laptop. That's cool if you do what you have to do, but you have to understand that that's money. Also, you're going to end up needing that down the line in the future. Honestly, I wish I would have put that into a savings account, and that extra money I had left over, but I ended up not. I ended up spending it all on school, which is in turn how I ended up paying off all my college. And another thing I wanted to bring up was a lot of pre-meds, they get nervous about, I don't want to go to community college because it looks bad on apps. Honestly, I will say I've had other friends who've gotten into med school and they went to community college. It depends on what you do there, and do you have an upward trend in terms of grades, and are your extracurriculars, are your volunteering, your research, is that all in line? And we'll get more into that later. But
so from what I understand, community college, it's pretty affordable, and you could have paid it without the FAFSA. But California is awesome.
Yeah.
And they gave you some money to pay for community college.
Exactly.
It was more than enough.
Yep, exactly.
So it was more than enough. So you saved that money going to the university, and then you got the university FAFSA, and then from your own savings account, you were able to graduate with debt-free.
Debt-free, yep.
So it can be done for everyone that is hesitating going into college just because of debt. It can be done.
You can, yep.
So with this pre-med and still wanting to become a doctor, what are some ways that you are able to communicate with doctors, pre-med students, and people that are just trying to be a doctor?
Yeah. So one thing I do have to say is, if you are deciding, hey, I want to become a doctor, this is something that I can see myself doing, first you got to shadow. I found doctors to shadow through friends, and the dads were doctors. We also have family friends who I've contacted who are doctors.
On top of the shadowing, he's a part of Reddit groups and subreddits. So tell the viewers about that.
Yeah. So a couple years ago, a lot of you know about Reddit, Student Doctor Network. This day and age, it's really cool because a lot of things are, there's a community for everything.
Yeah.
There really is.
Yeah.
Key websites and communities that you can join right now. I'll say one right now is Student Doctor Network. It's great. StudentDoctorNetwork.com is a great website.
Yeah.
And another one, that one, they're going to give advice for pre-meds and kids in med school right now. A lot about like AdComs and how that process works.
Yeah.
A lot of advice. So there's another one. A lot of you know about Reddit. Reddit has. You want to explain kind of how Reddit works real quick?
So Reddit is like an online community about all sorts of stuff. It has a community for everything, hobbies, professions. It's just basically a bunch of guys got together and they created sub websites where you could just talk and discuss what you're doing in life. So he's found a lot of good subreddits about doctors and about pre-med. So what are some subreddits?
All right, so a great one is it's just r/pre-med. It's a great one. A lot of pre-med students are on there, and there's weekly threads called "What Are My Chances?" and you put in all your stats, like, hey, I have this GPA, I graduated from this place.
So on this subreddit, there's a weekly thing that says, what are my chances?
Yep.
So basically, if you're in pre-med, you could tell them everything you've done, and doctors and the fellow people in the Reddit will tell you what your chances are of actually getting into doctor school. Is that right?
Yep, med school. Yeah, man, it's
wow.
awesome.
Med school.
Yeah.
Wow.
So then there's, honestly, right now, at this point in my life, I'm just looking at our pre-med, whereas if you want to be extra proactive, you can go into our medical school, our medicine, both different subreddits, and it kind of explains, you kind of get a peek into what life is like and what people are talking about within those respective communities.
So every step of becoming a doctor, they have a subcategory of a bunch of people trying to do the same thing, and they all talk to each other. We're going to link up the subreddits down below. He's going to give me all that information. That way you guys could check those out. Right now, he graduated university. You got your phlebotomy license.
Yeah, man.
What's next?
All right, so what's next? So for a lot of you out there who are non-traditional, so there's two types of pre-med students. There's traditional and there's non-traditional. Traditional is you go through your 4 years at undergrad and you major in biology or whatever. You take all your necessary prerequisites and then you start applying to med school right there. Me and like a lot of you guys out there, I'm non-traditional. I decided a little bit later in the game that, hey, I want to be a doctor. I didn't have all the necessary classes. So my next step right now, I'm going to do phlebotomy for a year. I just got certified as a phlebotomist, like RJ said. The next step, do phlebotomy for a year, get some experience, really network and meet different doctors. And then I'm going to apply to what's called a post-bac. A post-bac is a great option for students who are not traditional students. And the reason is because this is where you take all your necessary classes in a formal program. And what they do is you take so you're going to need your OChem, your chemistries, your physics, all those different classes, and they condense it into like a year or two. And they help you through the process of applying to med school after you've taken them.
So basically, it's a cram course of all the stuff you need before you even get accepted to pre-med.
Exactly.
And you have a better chance of actually getting accepted to pre-med.
You do, yep.
So knowing what you know now, what would you tell your past self if you were going to do this whole process over again?
Yeah. Past self, I would have told myself, start volunteering, start doing research.
What age volunteering?
Oh man, right, like freshman year of college.
Freshman year?
Yeah.
Wow.
Honestly, even in high school, I would have volunteered a lot more. Volunteered in the hospital. If you're in the Orange County area, Chalk is a great place for high schoolers to volunteer. Chalk Hospital in Orange. And other places, like right now, I'm in the process of becoming a volunteer at St. Joseph Hospital in Orange. And man, I'm telling you, I wish I would have been doing that a lot more. Resume builders. A lot of it's resume building.
All right, guys.
So.
Well, that's this week's video. So it's all about who you know, networking, volunteering. All right, guys. See you next week.
See you guys.
Find a great sympathy, that's a great ability. Practice repetition, believe in yourself. Soon everyone will listen. They'll see you on your vision and join you on your mission. You'll have enough money, put some food up in your kitchen. But to get the kitchen, you'll work through dinner as the whole world see you getting bigger. Oh Lord, I'm a winner. I'm a winner. I'm a winner.